Good afternoon. It's May 9th, 2025. Here's a look at the 17,000 tick chart. So the way I was viewing it today was we were just in a broad bear channel, and we found support down here and bounced and formed a break outside the channel. But still, I'm seeing no gap above the EMA. You could see we didn't get a gap here, and we didn't get a gap here. So this move started yesterday afternoon. And really since then we just kind of went sideways. But let's take a look at the daily chart, which is just a bare doji, but it looks like we're inside the channel. And then the weekly chart, we closed. I'm sure the bears were really um, trying to get. Let's see what the low is. 55.96 was the low of this week. So I'm sure the Bears were hoping to get a close closer to 5,600, but they failed to do that. But we are at the I want to say this is the 21-day moving average, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens next week. And this looks like it'd be good setup for a breakout to the low side, but we just didn't get that today. So I'll take a look at the uh, 2,700 tick chart. Again, this sell-off started yesterday, and by this morning, looked like we were in just some range-like stuff. Looks like maybe 4:30 a.m. Maybe there was a news item. Usually they don't happen at that time. If not, it was just some craziness. And you can see a level of support up here. So if you're playing a range, at that point, I don't know, maybe you're playing a range like this, sell with some limit orders up here. I think I actually, what time is this? No, I wouldn't be looking at the chart here, but I really like these. I like getting short right there. And that turns out to be a very good move. Um, but there's not really, I mean, we're just ranging here. So this is, a decent area to get long. You don't get a higher low here, but it tries to break lower, and then you get another strong bull bar, but then you get a strong bear bar, and a lot of overlap. So it's kind of like a trending range. I don't really see any clear setup. Maybe you can take this long, like it's a double bottom. Um, this higher low looks pretty good. Doesn't really give you a whole lot, and you are going into this potential level of resistance. But at this point, to me, this looks like a channel. And if you were making the argument that this is a channel, uh, which it looks like it is, you have a higher low that closes inside the channel, so you could consider that. Let me just go sideways. This is a this is a lot tougher to trade than I realized because I was just looking at the 17,000 tick chart, and what I did was I believe we were going lower around here, and so I sold, I think somewhere in here on this bar. It became bullish, and I was like, okay, let me drop a limit order near the trend line, and I did that. It got filled, and then it dropped. So that's one way to think about it and play it. But here we get this spike in channel. Um, I don't really see a great way of entering this unless you're looking at this range and thinking that this is like a breakout pullback and you go short there. But I just don't think there's enough information to do that. And then you get this like triple bottom right here. which I wouldn't blame anyone for considering this because it looks like it's at the low of the day. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good setup. So maybe some limit orders down here. But if you have this channel drawn, you have a break, move to a new low, super bullish bar. That's pretty good setup. That's, I mean, I really don't see anything in here. I was hoping to do a nice in-depth analysis, but I don't see a whole lot. This looks like a very, to me, this chart looks very ugly. And, you know, what you'll notice for people who are just starting out at this is you'll, some days it'll look terrible to you, and to someone else, it'll look clean. And some days it'll look clean to you, and to someone else, it'll look terrible. So, you know, you just got to be consistent with your chart study and, you know, don't sweat the small stuff. But anyway, that's one last look at it. Uh, Here's one last look at the daily chart. Hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back Monday.